So to actually get the lines to be drawn, you have to use a set of codes. Those set of codes are what are known as line control codes. So it's telling that line when to start, when to stop, when the curve to start, when the curve to stop. So again, in Business Center, what we have is the line code control set. So again, continuing in that same feature definition manager file, what you would end up doing is creating a line control code. So you can use this here, or you can simply right click and say new over here. So if I go new line control code, we're going to give it a name. We'll say begin line, and the code we're going to use is B. And what we're doing is we're telling it here starts a new line joining sequence. Alright, so we can choose from these actions here, but B would be the start a new line command. So we'll click OK to that, and then repeat the process for other commands such as ending a line, joining a line, closing a line, starting an arc, ending an arc, so on and so forth. So you would just do that inside this feature definition manager. With Civil 3D, that also, just like the figure prefix database, is an external file which is under the line code set. So under line code sets, you would have to come in and create a new line code set. Let's call it demo. And here you just come in and you set what the codes are. So here's your special codes, and you can come in and create them. Now again, the difference between the two is that I can have multiple control codes inside of my Business Center feature definition manager. With Civil 3D, you only get one option. So I may be working with two crews, maybe from different companies, and one crew uses B, another crew uses a dot. Well, inside of Business Center, I can have that option. I can set up another one where I can use the start, or I can say, begin line, and then use a dot, click OK. Oh, let's go begin line 1 and click OK. It's still going to start that line sequence if I use the dot or the B. Inside of Civil 3D, it's either you only get one option. Okay, but you do have the other codes where you can continue, end, close. It does have horizontal and vertical offsets that you can use. It's got some other line coding, recalling, rectangle command, extending, right turn. So there's a few other options in here that that don't exist in Business Center, but the majority of I would say the more common commands, beginning, ending, closing, rectangle, and curves, exist in both applications. But again, this is in Business Center, it's all in one file, where Civil 3D, it's in a separate code set and a separate file. So one other piece that you have to set up to kind of get this all to work in Civil 3D is you have to go into the survey settings and make sure that the code sets that you want to use are pathed in your working environment. Okay, and then what happens is you start a new drawing when that drawing template, with a drawing template that's got the description key set in it, all your description keys and all your point styles and your colors and your layers and so on, and then externally having the figure code prefix and the line code set pathed appropriately and set as default, because you can see here I can have multiple code sets, but I have to choose which one I want to use, so I can make one of these current versus another one. In Business Center, it's just a matter of having that control set, this feature code manager, set up and configured. Once that's done, I can apply this and saved, and come out here and save it. I can apply this, basically this FXL file, to any project inside of Business Center. So it's all in one location, it's all set up, and it can be used in multiple projects. Where Civil 3D, you have to, this figure prefix database and the line code set can be used on different projects, but you have to start a drawing with a drawing template. That drawing template only has, well, you can have multiple description key sets, but again, you have to set one of them. One has to be set current, so we'll use the first one, then the second one, and the third one. So you can create different key sets as well, but again, that can be confusing to some users. So there's quite a bit of setup involved with Civil 3D just to make this all happen. Inside a Business Center, like we said, it's just one FXO file. Next, we'll get into showing you a little bit more advanced functionality between the two applications from a survey perspective.